Hello, good evening, and welcome back. Cambridge Trinity College lawn dug up by Extinction Rebellion. Yes, they are rebelling against so-called extinction, and yet their go-to is to dig up the lawn of their garden here. Of course, did they face any repercussions? No, of course not, because the Trinity College can't be seen to go against their principles, because they know that the main people who go to university are people who wish to get indoctrinated in such bizarro world, and that it's 97% of scientists agree, even though that's a bullshit statistic even at first glance. So for a start, science isn't done by consensus, it's done by fact, and secondly, they are just skimming different studies and basically saying, does it fit our narrative? Yeah, cool, we'll include it. Is it too questionable? Then it doesn't actually say anything about climate, does it? So we won't include it. And they ended up at 97%, even though they included about half of the studies that had something to say about it. So the majority actually didn't have anything to say about whether or not climate change exists, or if it is anthropomorphic, as if it is man-made. But nonetheless, that's how this figure came from, and it sounded good, so they've kept it going. Because it's so high that you must do something about it, but it isn't so high that you think, they made the number up, even though they made the number up. So Trinity College did not want to make a report about the action, police said. Yes, because they need their money, basically, that's what it comes down to. And hopefully we will eventually reach a tipping point, at which point they go, no, actually, that is a bit much. Maybe when it affects them sufficiently, they'll go, no, that's not okay. If you go around slashing the tyres of their pristine 4x4s, then they might decide, yeah, that's actually a bit much. Now we need police action. But when the maintenance for this is not paid by them individually, but instead it is for the entire the entire college that funds this, and it is from the students, then they don't really care. But when it comes out to the individual pay package, then of course they do care. So, we're all for communism. It's like, are you aware you get paid so much that you would be one of the first on the chopping block? It's like, I'm not for communism anymore. Didn't think so. You're not actually. You don't have any principles. You're not trying to help the poor. You're just envious of the rich. And if you got paid more, you would be against communism straight away, which is why you're for communism, so that you're the one in power because you think you do a better job. How narcissistic can you be? So climate activists have dug up the lawn outside Cambridge University College over its role in a major development in the Suffolk countryside. Yes, but of course, if you were to actually leave people to do the things that they need to do, you would find the solutions to these problems much quicker. For example, the reason that they have ideas about climate change being anthropomorphic are from individuals doing their own research. The reason that we're not as smoggy as we once were is from individual development. Making it more efficient is then more pleasing to the consumer, as they can get it at a lower price, and that's what drives the cost down and also drives the pollution down. But if you're thinking for the plants that thrive on carbon dioxide, then of course they're loving it. You've got areas in the Sahara now that are lush that haven't been for tens of thousands of years, or at least 13,600 years because of the cataclysmic event. But they're loving it, and the same with sea life and sea algae, that they're loving the increased carbon dioxide because that's what they need to grow. So yeah, the planet has buried it deep down for so long, hundreds of thousands of years, and we're then releasing it back into the environment so it can be used again, and the plants are loving it, as you'd expect, really. But apparently this isn't good, because it isn't good for what's it not good for? People, because they're concerned the earth is getting warmer. And then that would upset whole ecosystems. So what, you think a degree in 100 years is going to cause that much damage? So much damage that you need to invest $100 trillion to change it by half a degree, or maybe one if you're lucky. No, I don't think so. I don't think this is a good enough reason to take control of the means of production, personally. And the world will always bounce back. And you're worried about humans and you think humans should be sterilized. Well, hey, if we're really going to kill ourselves, then that's going to be fine, because the planet will of course survive and the environment will adapt and make do because of it. I mean, we've had periods where the carbon dioxide concentration was 20 times what it was now, so that's not really going to be a problem. Might be a problem for humans, not that it really will because of the Milankovitch cycle, so we're going to go into a stage of global cooling in about 20 years, but they don't believe that, of course. But warmer has always been better for humans than colder, and it's not as if we have a problem with feeding people, of course. You could feed everybody if you just used like Texas as farmland then you could feed the world. It isn't an issue. It's just about getting it to the right places. If you don't have African warlords stopping people from being able to feed themselves, then you're fine. But yet again, that's large government getting in the way again. So, the right to private property. Who knew that's actually the solution? Wow, what a revelation. If only we thought of that 200 years ago, we might have been able to create something called the Enlightenment. Oh yeah, that's exactly what happened. Understood. Why are they trying to reverse this? I don't know. They just want the power, I presume. So members of Extinction Rebellion took the action at Trinity College over what they claimed to be the destruction of nature at Innocence Farm. The farm in Trimley St Mary has been part of plans involving Trinity for a logistics facility. Trinity College said it regrets the criminal damage done to its property. They can't be helped. Is this the soft bigotry of low expectations? We can't actually expect Extinction Rebellion to be reasonable, and anybody who buys into this devastating, 12 years to stop the irreversible damage, and some would even say 12 years until the end of the world, if they buy into that, then we can't actually expect them to listen to reason, seeing as they misunderstood from the first point. So, no. But, of course, if they're parts of your faculty, then you might be wondering, what the hell have you done wrong in order to make this happen in the first place? But let's not suggest we can have any introspection on the left. Activists who also chained themselves to an apple tree on the college's front lawn said they were careful to ensure that the digging took place a safe distance from the tree so as not to cause any damage to it. Yes, because now the tree is the only important thing and not the grass that they're damaging, not the earthworms that they're getting in the way of, not the birds that would feed on that grass. So grass doesn't matter, but trees do. So we can get rid of all the grass as long as the trees stay. Okay. That isn't your point, is it? No, of course it isn't. There is just no underlying principle or reason to any of this whatsoever. At all. Just like, hey, we can do a bit of destruction and that'll make us feel better because it's so much easier to tear things down than build things up. And we just want to feel like we've had a change in the world, even though we don't really know what change we want. But hey, destroying something is easy, and that's how we can feel good. Derek Langley, a member of Extinction Rebellion Cambridge, said the idea that a rich institution like Trinity College, which tells the world it is serious about tackling this crisis, is looking for profit from environmental destruction, is quite simply astonishing. Except, of course, given that the efficiency created by this investment then actually reduces the environmental damage and what enables people to live better lives and actually be concerned about this. You have to be in the middle class or higher, essentially, to actually be concerned about climate change. Otherwise, you're just caring about getting by day to day, and you don't give a shit what these other people are saying, because if you don't get by and use fossil fuels or anything like this, then you will die, and your own life, the life of your family, is far more important than what these nonsensical so-called elites have to say about the issue. A Trinity spokeswoman said the college respects the right to freedom of speech. No, you don't. It's just the freedom of speech that you like, isn't it? And non-violent protest, but draws the line at criminal damage and asks the protesters to leave. They didn't really want to, so should we inform the police and make this a police matter? No, let's not do that. So your words are empty. Brilliant. So you don't care about principles. So what is it then? There are no bad tactics, only bad targets. She added, academics at Trinity are actively engaged in research to understand and develop solutions to climate change and taking practical steps forward. So, yes, you agree with their intention. Understood. That's why you don't want to do anything about it, because you're worried it might hurt your reputation because you're supposed to be such a saint when it comes to saving the environment. Oh, wow. A Cambridgeshire police spokeswoman said officers had been to the college and spoken to staff. She added, at this time, they do not wish to make a report to the police. Yes, you can't have Extinction Rebellions actually taking self-responsibility. Members of the group have also been taking part in a week-long road blockade in the city, prompting police to use emergency powers to shut off roads. Are they helping anything by making people's routes longer? No, of course not. Are you going to get people to listen to you by doing this? No, of course not. Are you going to get people angry with you and then trying to stop you in other means? Yes, you are. And then you're going to go to the government to help. Last week, a meeting had to be abandoned when a protester abseiled into the council chamber. That's some Mission Impossible stuff right there. That's amazing. Hello, I'm from the ceiling, and I'm here to prevent your meeting. Hello. But nonetheless, yes, this is just another story about Extinction Rebellion not really understanding what they're going for and not understanding how to go about it either. But hey, let's just add this one onto the fire. No, not the fire. That produces carbon dioxide. Oh no. How the hell are we going to be able to heat everybody if we can't burn anything? Oh, electricity, of course. How are we going to make that electricity? Oh, renewables. Cool. How are we going to make the stuff with the renewables? Haha, yes. So, oh, I see. You want the big open cast mines in Africa, which are most likely owned by China, and if people step out of the line and they're shot and killed, and they kill each other for the blood diamonds as well from the open cast mines. Is that what you want? You want the warring tribes in Africa to be responsible for your heating? Sounds great. Sounds so good. Or, if the global warming picks up, then we won't need to worry so much about the heating. So we'll be fine. Seems like it's a bit of a no-brainer, really. And if we are such a damage to the planet, then it will rectify itself, and most of the people will die out, and then we'll lose the effects we have, and the planet will still survive, and there will be new evolution of different species, seeing as 98% of the species that ever existed have now died out. That is a natural process and will continue to happen. So I don't think we're really that important in the grand scheme of things. Do you really think we're going to end the world with this climate change? No, of course you don't. You think we're going to kill ourselves before that, so there isn't an issue. Seeing as you want sterilization as well, it's not as if you want a better life for your children. So, what's your point? But hey, as always, tell me if I'm wrong down below. Always interested to hear what you guys have to say. So, thank you so much for your engagement. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until next time, have a good one.